You have been getting your lists, you've been making your calls, and now you are ready to lock up a seller, but you don't have a contract. What contract should you use? Well, now you're gonna have that contract. Check this out. Welcome back, everybody. It is Brent Daniels, and before I get into this video about the purchase contract to use on a wholesale deal, I first want to go and pick out the two people that we picked out of the hats that are going to get the TTP hat, the TTP shirt. Thank you all for following along. I really appreciate it. Thank you for commenting. The first one goes to Julian Colvard. Julian, we are sending you a hat, so make sure that you get in touch with Alejandra, and we're going to send it your way. Next is going to be Ken Fulton. Ken and Julian getting some TTP gear. Guys, as always, comment down below. Give me some questions. Give me some meat and potatoes down there in the comments. Subscribe, and hopefully I'll be sending you some TTP gear. Now, let's get back into this video about the purchase contract. Now, here's the thing. Number one here, I am going to link down the purchase contract that I use in the state of Arizona. Listen to me carefully. You take this is just a skeleton of a contract. You take this and take it to a real estate attorney and make sure that your state specific information is in this contract, okay? This is vital. Okay, make sure that you are compliant and just take it to an attorney. It costs you maybe a couple $100. You can do it. It'll be so worth it. But this is an example of something that you can use. Now, in this contract, we keep it very simple. Just 2 pages, and then the third page is just one that is for information so that the title company can easily get a hold of the seller. Okay, this is just their contact information on page 3. It doesn't have to be complicated. Now, if you're a realtor out there and you're used to using 15 pages of contract, this is going to seem very foreign to you. But I have used this time and time again. I have used a realtor contract and I have used this contract. Typically with motivated sellers that are in distress, remember, we're talking to distressed property owners here. You use a purchase contract that is easy, plain language, doesn't have a lot of junk thrown in there that is typical with a realtor contract. Now, obviously, talk to a real estate attorney. Make sure that you have all the information that you need for your state specific. Now let's get into this. In the beginning, it just has the seller and the buyer clearly laid out. And then we talk about, and then it goes into the address and it goes into the legal description and the assessor parcel number. Listen to me, that sounds crazy. APN, all it is the tax ID for the property address. Every property here in America, if you're not on some sort of weird territory or maybe a reservation or something, has a APN number, a tax ID number, so that they can get property taxes that support things like schools and fire departments and police and all other sort of social programs. So make sure that that is part of your contract because it makes sure that you are, that everything's in line. The legal description is in line, the APN number is in line, and the address is in line because sometimes the tax number and the address don't match up. So you want to make sure you know what you are purchasing and the title company knows what you're purchasing. Next, earnest money. Some people don't put any earnest money. Some people put $1, some people put 10, some people put 1,000. It just depends on how comfortable your seller is with the process. Now, earnest money is just money that you are giving to the title company and saying, hey, I'm serious about purchasing this property. Flip it around a little bit. If somebody was buying a property from you, how would you know that they were serious? We talk about it on this channel. When you wholesale, it's not a serious cash buyer unless they put $5,000 earnest deposit, non-refundable down. Well, it's the same type of thing. It's a little bit of skin in the game that says, hey, I do want to buy this property. I am serious. here's some money that I'm going to put down to make sure that I secure this deal. Okay. Now you can go with none, you can go with 10, you can go with 1,000. Check with, I mean, you could go with whatever number. Check with your state, see if you need to put actual money down to make the contract enforceable. Most you do not, but check with your attorney. Okay. Close of escrow. Close of escrow. If you're not familiar with that term, that's basically the date that everything closes. That the contract and the deed transfers from, I'm sorry, not the contract. The deed transfers from the seller to the buyer. That's the closing date. COE is what is commonly referred to, close of escrow. All that is the day that hopefully you are getting paid, that the new buyer has their property, or maybe you have the new property if you're buying it for yourself. TTP is not only about wholesaling, it's about everything, building up your portfolio, getting a property to buy and live in yourself, flipping properties, whatever it is. So that is the date where it transfers from the old seller to the new buyer, and that person becomes the owner. Okay, the escrow company, this has all the info on the escrow company, the name, the contact information, the escrow officer. This could also have the information, if you were in an attorney state, this could give the information of the attorney that is going to be doing the closing. Okay? Closing terms and conditions here in this thing. What we do here in the closing terms and condition is we explain that all of the title and escrow fees, all of the closing fees are responsible from the buyer. So what you're looking for here is when it comes to the purchase price on here, and I kind of skipped that, of course, put the purchase price up at the top, but that purchase price is typically a net to the seller, except for in the closing terms and conditions, it talks about that they owe any liens that they have on the property or property taxes. Okay, then they get the net from there. So they need to subtract those two numbers. This is getting a little dry, but I'm talking about a contract here. It's a little bit, it's not as exciting as most of these videos, but it is important to know so that you can feel confident. When you have confidence, then you can be committed to going out and getting these deals. Right. Okay. So in this, we talk about all the things that the buyer pays for, all the things that the seller is responsible for, and then we put in here that this contract is assignable. Okay, that you can assign this contract. Access and inspections to the properties. We say that the seller shall make property accessible to the buyer, buyer's partners, agents, assignees, contractors, lenders, appraisals prior to closing. Buyer may market the property prior to the close of escrow. This is important. We go through this contract with the sellers that we're working with because we want to make sure that they understand what we're trying to do. We explain to them if we are going to wholesale the property, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're very open and honest with them. If you're open and honest with people off the bat, they appreciate it. Okay? We've never had too much friction to where we lost the deal. If it got to that point, we would just close it and get done with it. Okay, property is sold as is. This makes it very clear, plain language to the seller because that's one of their main concerns. I don't want to have to fix up this property. So the property is buying it as is. If you are an agent, you have to disclose it, at least in the state of Arizona, so check that out. And the rest of it is just kind of boilerplate attorney fees. The entire agreement is complete between two parties, that everybody understands that there's no duress or anything. So it's really simple, guys. It's a 2-page contract. To put it down below, use it as a guide. Don't use this contract specifically. Use it as a guide. Get it tweaked and turned by your attorney so that it can be perfect for your market. But here are the basics. You, the seller, the information about where the property is located, the price, earnest money, closing date, who pays for what costs, as is, and really any disclosures that you have if you are an agent or something like that. It's simple. 2 pages. Literally, they have to sign one place and put their contact information. It is awesome. But make sure you check with the attorney. That's the 5th or 6th time because you could be watching this all over the place. I don't know where you're watching this from. I hope you're watching it from all over the country. But make sure that you check with the attorney. Take it as a guide. Say, hey, can you make sure that this is compliant in our state? And boom, you're off and running. I'm giving you no excuses not to talk to people. I'm giving you no excuses not to get really, really great opportunities, really huge deals in your marketplace. I'm pulling all of it out. I'm giving it all away. like Red Hot Chili Peppers, baby. Give it away. Give it away, give it away now. Anyway, you guys are the best. Comment down below if you have any questions. I love all you guys that are subscribing and hitting the alerts because we put out 3 videos every single week and you know they are on fire. So thank you so much for watching. Until next time, love you. See ya. TTP.